Niccolo Machiavelli never wrote a self-help book. He didn't talk about focus like modern-day gurus do with timers or morning routines. Yet he understood something far more profound, and some might say, dangerous. True focus isn't about just being productive. It's about dominating, manipulating, forging your own path in a world designed to distract and drain you. Focus isn't just a tool, it's a weapon. If you learn to wield it like Machiavelli, you stop reacting and start controlling. You stop chasing and begin attracting. You stop trying to change your life and instead, you simply do. Machiavelli understood that most people don't lack potential. They lack direction. Their minds aren't weak, but scattered. Their power isn't gone, it's leaking. And the first rule of power is clear. What's spread out is weak. What's concentrated becomes unstoppable. So the question isn't just, how do you focus? The real question is, how do you turn focus into a weapon? Eliminate without mercy, focus starts with getting rid of things. Most people try to focus by adding more apps, strategies, or goals. But Machiavelli knew that focus begins with cutting things out. He advised leaders to be like a fox, avoiding traps, and a lion, eliminating threats. In your case, the traps are distractions, and the threats are too many choices. Your mind isn't cluttered because you're weak. It's cluttered because you've allowed too much in. You've been open to everything but committed to nothing. Here's how a Machiavellian would act. You would cut 90% of the goals you think you should be pursuing. Say no to people who demand your time out of guilt rather than real value. And stop trying to be good at everything, instead choosing to master one thing so completely that others gather around you. When you say yes to too many things, your energy gets diluted. And diluted power isn't power. It's just noise. Machiavelli's rule. What you exclude defines you more than what you include. Choose one battlefield and burn. Every exit Machiavelli believed a leader should pick their battles wisely and only enter a fight if they were ready to utterly destroy their enemy. The same rule applies to your focus. If you want a real change, you can't just dabble. You must declare war. Pick one area in your life where you will be intensely focused. This could be mastering your craft, building a formidable physique, or creating a business that grants you complete freedom. Once you've chosen, destroy all other options. There's no going back, no plan B, just total mental commitment. Modern ideas call this deep work, but Machiavelli would call it taking complete control of your mind's territory. You occupy that? Mental space so fully, so constantly, that competitors either surrender or give up, become unreachable. Being too available is the enemy of true achievement. One behavior ruins more ambition than failure ever could. Constant availability. Always texting back, always answering calls, always online. Machiavelli advised leaders to remain mysterious, unpredictable, and silent when needed. Why? Because silence creates awe, and awe creates power. But there's another reason. When you're always reachable, your energy is always scattered. A scattered mind can't build a lasting impact. A distracted person can't become truly formidable. So, here's what to do. Turn off 90% of notifications. Do deep work when everyone else is casually scrolling. And block out 3 hours a day where you disappear from the world, from the noise, from the chaos. You don't owe the world your availability. You owe yourself progress. Let the world feel your absence, so they start to crave your presence. Create pressure. Power thrives under intense conditions. Machiavelli wrote that necessity forces people to act. He believed that luxury weakens and comfort kills. The most focused people in history didn't just stumble upon motivation. They created pressure, whether real or artificial. How do you create pressure? You set impossible deadlines, then remove any safety nets. You tell people what you're going to achieve, so your reputation is on the line. You bet something significant money. Status, ego. You will focus when there's something to lose. Machiavelli knew that fear sharpens the mind. Just as fire purifies gold, pressure refines attention. Stop waiting for the perfect mood to focus. Instead, create the storm that forces you to obsess. Obsess with control. Yes! Not balanced society often praises balance, a soft word used to justify half-hearted living. He valued control, the ability to command your mind like a weapon, to bend reality to your will. So when you wake up, don't ask what's the balanced thing to do today. Instead, ask what action will give me maximum control over my results. This might mean sacrificing social time, working through the night, or training like your life depends on it because your future does. Balance is for those who are content. Control is for those who seek true power. Focus is violence against distraction. You need to see focus as a violent act. It's not calm or gentle. It's a declaration of war against your weaker self, saying no to every urge that whispers, check your phone, open that app, scroll just a little. Machiavelli advised rulers to be harsh only when necessary, but when they chose harshness, to be decisive. The same applies to distraction. You don't try to tame it. You destroy it coldly, relentlessly, without apology. Uninstall the app. Block the site. Cut out the person. Remove the excuse. You won't outsmart distraction. You must overpower it. Design your day like a tyrant, not a tourist. Most people wake up like tourists in their own lives, drifting, hoping, reacting. Machiavelli would call that a pathetic way to live. Instead, structure your day like a tyrant organizes a state ruthlessly. Every hour must submit to your will. Every task must serve your main goal. Every minute must be accounted for. This doesn't mean joyless routines. It means sovereignty. The powerful don't ask for time. They command it. This is how you begin to focus like a Machiavellian. It's not for peace, but for control. Not to merely improve your life, but to seize it. Because in a world full of distractions, the focused person becomes incredibly effective. Let others scroll and wander. You build quietly, sharply, with intense force. By the time they notice, it's already too late. If you still believe that focus is about closing your eyes, breathing deeply, and saying affirmations, then you haven't grasped what we're talking about here. We're not here to simply concentrate. We're here to concorder, to bend your environment, your mind, and time itself until everything moves to your rhythm. That was Machiavelli's kind of focus. Absolute command. A mental monarchy where no thought goes astray, no impulse escapes consequences, and no action is wasted. What you're building isn't just discipline. You are building a fortress of mind, and inside it only two things thrive: purpose and precision. Build an internal fortress, guard your attention like a top-secret weapon. Machiavelli warned leaders that the most dangerous threats come from within, not outside. Weakness and disloyalty always start inside the walls. Apply that to yourself. Your lack of focus doesn't come from the world. It comes from within you, from the parts that are lazy, anxious, impulsive, or addicted to external approval. You must rule your inner self like a tyrant rules a palace. Identify the rebellious thoughts in your head and crush them. Where mind wanders, immediately bring it back with force. Every time you resist distraction, reward that resistance. Train your mind like a loyal guard dog. Your attention is your most valuable asset. If you let it slip for even a second, something else will seize it. Focus on the leverage point. Not everything is worth mastering. Machiavelli didn't believe in doing everything. He believed in doing what mattered most. In power, a huge portion of success comes from a small fraction of action. This means your focus must be selective, not scattered. Whoa. In your life, what is the leverage point? If you're building a business, is it creating great content or reaching out to people? If you're improving your body, is it sleep or intense workouts? If you're trying to gain respect, is it your presence or your ability to persuade? One focus strike is worth 100 random punches. A sniper wins over a machine gun. And Machiavelli would remind you, great achievements are built with precision, not just effort. Stop trying to do more. Instead, find that key habit, action, or relationship, and dominate it. Train your mind like a spy. Observe every mental movement. The greatest leaders, Machiavelli advised, weren't just forceful, they were strategic. They didn't act randomly. They watched, waited, and struck with surgical intent. Your mind must do the same. If you can't observe your own mind, It will always control you. Start noticing, when does your attention break down? Why? What times of day are you mentally sharpest? What triggers your mind to wander? What patterns lead to your most focused hours? This isn't just simple self-awareness, it's tactical surveillance. Spy on yourself as if you're planning a takeover, because you are. Once you can watch your mind, without emotion, you can redirect it without resistance. Create a ritual of war approach. Focus like you're entering battle. Every time you sit down to work, you're entering a fight not with the world, but with your weaker self, your easily distracted self, your complacent self. Machiavelli believed that rituals mattered not because they were mystical, but because they prepared the mind for intense action, for power, for clarity. So, create your own ritual of war. Something that tells your mind, now we build. It could be sitting in the same chair with the same lighting, playing a specific soundtrack. That ignites eye.